Hey Taurus, happy new week. Okay, so this is a reading for the week of March 30th, 31st into the first week of April. I will also be putting the monthly April readings up at some point this week. Please know that all time is fluid. Wherever you find yourself on the timeline, listening to this message is when you're intended to receive it. So my intention for my intuitive readings are for healing, clarity, confirmation for all those who cross this message when they do. I know collectively last week pretty much all of the zodiac readings had a very strong focus on reassessment, on the foundations that matter the most to us. You know, we're really looking at life, love, connections, who and what matters the most. What does security mean for me? So at this time I do hope this message finds you well. Your theme last week was moving away from toxicity and into freedom. And you know what? What better way to really reassess ourselves and what that means for us, and when life presses pause. As inconvenient as that is, Taurus, it's also a beautiful opportunity to decide, here I am at the crossroads, where to from here? With or without my past, with or without anyone else that might want to potentially join me. What does freedom mean for me? You know, hopefully you had a chance to really explore that theme last week. But let's take a look and see what might come up for the Taurians I'm connecting to this week. Sacred wisdom. Wow, we're all going a little bit deep here. I'm only a couple of readings into the zodiac, but sacred wisdom, all right? This is the esoteric, this is metaphysical, this is whatever God consciousness, higher consciousness means to you, whether you practice spirituality or religion. When the world doesn't make sense, when all of the old rules and structures are suddenly, we press pause on it, we press pause on how everything is. What do we turn to? What sustains us when all else falls away? Sacred wisdom invites you in to travel into some higher realms here, Taurus, this week. You're really looking at yourself and life from a wiser perspective, a deeper perspective, an expanded perspective, okay? It'd be interesting to see what pops up in the tarot, to see what kind of themes are might tying in here. But I do want to say, when the Sacred Wisdom card shows up, look out for the symbols. Look out for the moon cycles that are relevant here for you in the coming months. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next 3 to 4 months is quite pivotal, perhaps for the Taurians I'm speaking to, when it comes to shaping, forming, redefining whatever sacred wisdom means for you. I encourage every client, despite they're coming to me for readings or spiritual advice, whatever it is, my biggest message, sorry about the noise. Maybe you've got to ride off into a new sunset. My biggest message to everyone that crosses my path is that ultimately, seeking that constant validation, approval, guidance outside of ourselves will always keep us far removed from the wisdom that exists within. That's not to say don't be practical, don't follow common laws and structures that inevitably are designed to keep us safe, so that we all commonly abide and there is some form of order, because life and cycles and nature is about order and structure. We do have to replicate that in our human experience in some form. But when it comes to sacred wisdom, that wants to jump. Strength, when it comes to being brave, when it comes to feeling brave in the face of adversity, connecting into whatever sacred wisdom. Do you feel like that everything is going to be okay, despite the fact that your world right now might be telling you everything is uncertain? How does that sit with you? Does it make you feel brave? Does it make you feel vulnerable? There's a lot there. There's a lot. It feels very spiritual, Taurus. I feel like there's a lot of Taurians out there that might even be experiencing some form of awakening, whatever that means for you. And you know what? Collectively, there is a massive awakening going on. You can create definitions around that from an esoteric perspective. You can call it high consciousness, but life as we know it is set to change fundamentally. And we are all waking up to the fact that life can stop Life as we know it can stop just like that. And in those moments when we don't have those definitions and structures and foundations that society has put upon us, that we have relied upon, what foundations do we find within? Okay? Big stuff, deep stuff. These weekly zodiac readings were meant to be light and fun, and this global stuff happened, and here I am finding myself what I most love to do is soul readings, soul path readings, purpose, the deepest stuff that ultimately transforms us from trauma into acceptance and love and knowing. So, I don't know, maybe that's the Tauruses that I'm connecting to out there as well. Let's have a look, Taurus. The Knight of Cups. Are you offering your love? Is someone offering their love? The Justice card. In the past is the Ace of Wands. Above is the Eight of Wands. Underneath is the Six of Coins. What's likely to happen next? The High Priestess, the Queen of Pentacles, Two of Coins, the Ten of Swords. Don't be afraid of the Ten of Swords. I think there's some deep value in endings. You're definitely, as a collective message here on the table for you, Taurus, you're definitely coming out of loss, reviewing your role in that loss. You're coming out of it. It could even span 10 years. A long chapter whereby you're really letting go of old emotional ties, old emotional disappointments and betrayals, whether you've betrayed yourself, whether others have betrayed you when you have felt stabbed in the back by life. You're really coming out of that. But what I do want to draw your attention to is this new beginning. You've got two aces here, the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. A reignition of that divine fire and spark and knowing about who you are, what your purpose is, how you feel about your current circumstances and your future. This is the start of a new relationship, okay? In the recent past, there's definitely a lot of, that's a Cupid card. The Eight of Wands is the falling in love card. It's a lot of communications. You might be texting, messaging, because whether you're in lockdown, isolation, quarantine, whatever everyone's calling it, whether you're alone or not, I do see there's a lot of communications when it comes to love and this passionate new beginning that you're wanting and ready to accept. So whether someone is offering their love and heart to you, whether you're wanting to do that, there's a karmic balancing here of a situation and an experience. I feel you're definitely moving out. This feels very much the next installment to your last reading from last week. You're definitely moving out of a painful, confusing chapter where you've healed some deep trauma wounds around emotional loss, and you've actually accepted accountability for your role in that, into this opportunity where you're actually embracing a new beginning. You're grabbing it with two hands, whether you find yourself alone or not. And if I do see there's some Taurians out there that are happy to stand on their own, when the High Priestess is there, where whether you're a male or female, she doesn't necessarily have a counterpart. She is the priestess. Is the person that people go to. You are your own counsel in your current circumstances. You're feeling strong in the decisions you're making and you're knowing, and even if that means sitting still for a little bit, because the Knight of Cups is a moving card. It's not a fast moving card. It's sure. It's emotionally balanced. But I do see there's this rush of energy in the recent past. You're very much focused on equal give and take and balance underneath all of this. The Six of Coins is about reciprocity. You're starting to feel that life is giving you, I'm not going to say it's the opposite of this card, but this is like feeling stabbed in the back by others and betrayed by life, and life is not giving you back everything you've given. Okay, but this is the opposite of that. This is, you're starting to feel like you're getting your your rewards, your whatever effort you put in, This is also fast. When I see these two cards together, it's like they add up to the Magician card. It's manifestation energy. It's fast moving equality. So whatever you put out there, Taurus, is what you're going to be getting back. I do want to encourage you to connect into your intuition, because when the High Priestess shows up, we are encouraged to, whatever that means for you, focusing on intuition, higher knowing, visions for the future, your dream state, what you intuitively sense and know about what is right when it comes to balancing. I think you're balancing. You're definitely this is karmic balancing too. You deserve this. You deserve this chapter. You deserve this new beginning. You deserve to feel hopeful. You deserve to take that cup. You deserve to give that cup. and trust that it will be held and balanced in equal reciprocity to what you're giving, is what I want to say. You might be connecting into, if you're a man watching this, you might be connecting into a female that you consider as the most important woman in your life. You know, if you're female, you're definitely coming into your own, into your more higher spiritual elements, especially with the theme card you've got going on, Taurus. You know, what is the sacred wisdom of your journey thus far? And I feel like you've integrated this. There's a karmic balancing here. Okay, there's some spiritual principles where you've balanced the yin and yang, the shadow and light, to see yourself and your purpose, your path, your past from a higher view. Okay, look out for whatever symbolism means for you, whether you see angels, whether you see synchronicity in numbers, whether you see owls. Following the moon cycles, the next 3 months of moon cycles are significant for you in the full integration of this new chapter. Okay, you are really coming into your own. I do want to say, whatever you, when I said earlier about that manifestation energy, that reciprocity, in order to fundamentally step into your own and form firm foundations, you know, the Queen of Pentacles, she's the salt of the earth. She really is. She's her own provider. She has provisions. She's successful. She's got something tangible to give. Okay, you don't need to come and look after her. She can look after herself, Taurus. Whether that's you or someone else that you're connecting into. I do want to say, whatever it is that you want, you must give. Okay, there must be equal give and take here. I feel like you're. There's also a potential here for you when you do step into this higher element of yourself, this higher wisdom. There's going to potentially be this 1 step forward, 2 step back energy. You might still be drawn into the past. So that's my only caution for you, Taurus. It's about embracing and trusting the new beginnings. You know, we're all finding ourselves on pause with a massive review, but I feel like you're excited about what the future will hold once you're able to get going again, because I think there's a lot of communications, there's a lot of planning, there's a lot of talking about this new beginning. You are ready, but what I want to say is you are ready to walk away from your past and your pain, your betrayals, that when life let you down, when things didn't work out. But I do want to say, don't run, okay? Because this isn't the Knight of Swords. This is the Knight of Cups. It's about full heart, full knowing that we lovingly release the past. Do not repeat patterns. Give as much as what we hope to receive, okay? And that's equal reciprocity. That is something of value, so that we feel of value. We feel our decisions have been valuable and return to us what we give into them, okay? You're very much feeling this week that your cup is overflowing with love. It might be because of words of love and connection and, hey, how you going? Or I'm glad I'm in lockdown with you, or whatever the case may be. You know, you're definitely coming into a time where, and I think it might even be to do with your finances, coming and getting some good news, okay, about finances, because the 9 of Coins is here as well. I do want to say, for the Taurians out there listening, I feel like I'm even speaking to a single person. You've come into yourself. You've learnt a lot, okay? You're excited about the new beginnings ahead. Okay, where was I? Really embracing this sense of all the achievements and everything you have pulled together, Taurus, to get you to where you are now. The beginnings, and getting excited about the beginnings and strong foundations that you can build. You know, this is the Apprentice card, this is the Study card, this is the plans for their future, whether you do that on your own internally or with someone else, you know, and getting excited for life again, okay? This is passion and, oh, goodness, great. It's passion and excitement about feeling fulfilled, and that your wishes have been fulfilled. You know, where you are right now, where you're heading, is everything you've wanted, Taurus. It's long term. This is long lasting energy. The Knight of Coins is you. You are in your element, okay? As an earth sign, this is the Knight of Coins. Commitment, stability, engagement, working towards marriage, getting your long-term financial security sorted, getting your wishes when it comes to financial changes. I know so many are out there in uncertainty at the moment, so I don't say that lightly. You're heading into a good place though, Taurus, you know, in many ways. So I can keep going, you know. I do want to suggest, like I said, whatever it is that you expect from life to receive back, whatever it is that you expect from a connection, whatever it is that you expect, that put that out first, you know, and then keep doing that. Do an assessment, really apply the wisdom of your journey. Don't let pain be for nothing. Don't let loss be for nothing. It is a value here, okay? It is a value, but you are successfully moving away from it, which is freedom, isn't it? You know? And from freedom last week, you're moving into some sacred wisdom here. You're really integrating the lessons of the past, Taurus, and the opportunities that lie before you, which ultimately look like an amazing new beginning. Lots of talking this week about that and feeling excited, okay? I do see that this is the divine spark to get you going, this connection, this new experience, this new chapter, this opportunity to press pause reignites the spark for your visions moving forward into a long-term stability of getting your love needs met as well, feeling fulfilled by life and feeling inspired by life again. Because we can get really stuck in routine, you know, we can get really stuck in old rules and doing things and staying in connections that ultimately are just not fulfilling us on higher and deeper spiritual planes. Life is not fulfilling us spiritually. This is spiritual nourishment. This is a future of inspiration, where you actually get to integrate your wisdom of everything you've learned. That's something beautiful. Watch what you can grow between now into October. Okay, October feels significant for me. I feel like I've got to mention that here. But like I said, the next 3 months of moon cycle. So new moons, full moons. Look them up, follow it. Find out how they fit into you and how you can work with those energies. Get to know your natal chart. Really work with, just because you're a Taurus doesn't mean you can't work well with the Aries season that's coming up. Find out where Aries sits in your chart, if it does. So, but this feels good. This feels like a balancing Taurus in many ways, and you are closing off a chapter here. This is karmic balancing, guaranteed. Okay, you've got a lot to look forward to, and rightly so, you deserve it. Alrighty, sorry for the interruptions. This is what happens when I do videos during the day and we're all confined and we're at home and nobody's at school. I hope you got some messages from that. See you next week.